backup internet. I hope that's okay. Let's see. Let me reopen the chat. Sorry, this is all of the moving parts. Sorry if I missed any of the chat. I was crashing. Oh no, my stream started again? Damn it. Sorry, everybody. Jeez. I'm so sorry. A storm is passing over. This is winter. What can I say? And I just cannot keep my internet on for love or money. Okay, so do I really have a new stream? That is sad. Let's go to YouTube and have a look. Hey. Anyway, we're going to get back to things in just a moment. I want to try to see what happened with my stream live. Ooh, okay, it started a new stream. Yeah, thank you, Nadu. Thanks, Helvina. Yeah, I had no control over that. My internet died, and so, you know, here I am. I'm on the backup internet, and I hope this will work. Thanks for your patience, everybody. I will link the 2 videos later. Okay, so we're talking about down here in this 3rd row, the business impacts because of the customer problem. So again, if we worked at Priority Pass, we would have more knowledge here. We're guessing a little bit today. We're making it up because it's just a sample. But what might be or are the impacts to the business because Priority Pass is closing customers' accounts when the credit card expires? So I took a shot at it and I said, first of all, there's going to be higher support utilization. People are going to be calling or writing customer support more because they're going to find that their account was closed. And they're going to be like, what happened here? Why? And they might even be finding this out when they go to a lounge in an airport and they go to show their card and someone says, you're toast. You don't have an account. So you might have some very angry customers who are utilizing support and expect better service because their account was surprise closed. So higher support utilization always costs companies money, but is rarely figured into budgets, as we learned in Chapter 10 of Customers Know You Suck. Now, also, what's another impact to the business? If anybody is keeping metrics on active customers or returning customers or customer lifetime, how long do people stay customers, or customer lifetime value, how much money do we make because of how long people stay customers? Our numbers are going to get thrown off and probably look kind of bad because a lot of closed accounts might make our internal numbers look like we lose a lot of customers. But in a sense, those customers might not be lost. They just opened a second account, which again is really confusing and messy. So this might make our internal metrics or things that we're watching or KPIs look bad or sad. Like we get a lot of closed accounts in our system, you know. What the hell's going on? Why do we have so many accounts closing? So again, that could be an impact to the business. That could hurt the business's ability to retain customers. Maybe people go F Priority Pass. I'm not going to open up my account again. I'm going to try a competitor. So again, these cause problems to the business. So this 3rd row are what are the problems to the business, and really important here, especially if this is not fake and you work somewhere and you're doing this, include any real numbers you have. Do you have real numbers? Do you know that 12% of the accounts that your system auto-closed never come back? Never complete their, oh, how do I rejoin the Miro? Sorry, you can rejoin the Miro at deltacx.link/thinkoutloud01. And right now we're just talking through the impact map. Yeah, Alvina says messy data. Yeah, and messy data can create messy decisions, messy strategies. Messy stuff. So you're totally right. So add any numbers you have here if you are trying this where you work. Isla says, in case the update requirements are not fulfilled, then the account will be closed. In the case the client will be aware of everything. If you mean the client, if the client was me, I was not aware of this. So this was information I did not know or understand or have. And even if it was sent to me, maybe it was one email, maybe it went into spam, maybe I missed it. I didn't know what was going on. I was thinking about a reminder notification about the card expiration date. Yeah, so this is a continuation of a stream that just died because my internet went out, and I was talking about how in my particular case, my card didn't expire, my card got stolen. So we had to emergency close my card, and American Express issued me a new one, but then Priority Pass, which has a relationship with American Express, closed my account, opened up a new one for me, but I didn't know that. And then I had to jump through hoops to finish setting up a new account that I didn't even know existed. I needed a code from customer support. So if you have numbers, can you figure out how much customer support is being utilized from calls like this or tickets like this? That can definitely affect a company's bottom line. So whatever real numbers you can add to this, that is really the impact, and you want to include that if you're making this for real. Now, what about plastic waste and shipping costs? By the way, next I'm going to ask you if you can think of any impacts to the business that we might consider if we worked there. Now, plastic waste and shipping costs, I have a plastic Priority Pass card. Now that they've closed that account and opened up a new one, I have a piece of plastic that I have to throw away, recycle, do something with. They're going to print another plastic card and mail it to me. That's paper, that's plastic, that's that's got environmental impact, plus it costs the company money to make those plastic cards and ship them. So, and that's wasted. Why couldn't I just keep my old account with the existing card with the existing number and update it? This is costs that a company could save. It's time a company could save. Cataline says, any payment-based system I've used where you need to have a card attached has a tolerance 2 to 3 days to 1 month to the card expiring or being unusable, having no funds when payment is due. That's another great point. Why don't we have communication with American Express that says, is Debbie still some sort of card holder with you? Because Debbie gets the free Priority Pass account by having an American Express card. Hey, American Express, is Debbie still a customer in good standing? Because if so, like Cataline says, we'll give her a grace period. Could a grace period have helped here? Sure, eventually that grace period will run out, and our problem is that we've pushed our problem till later. So I like that. I think the grace period could help, but we've still pushed our problem down the timeline, and we're still going to have to fix it. Can anybody think of any other possible impacts to the business in a sense of things that cost the business time, money, people? Customer trust. Maybe what we can put in this box here has to do with voice of the customer. Maybe we're seeing an upturn in angry tweets. I hate Priority Pass. They closed my account. I had no idea what was going on. Grumble, grumble. That's something that affects reputation. It could affect all, I'm not going to renew Priority Pass. They boop, bop, bop, beep, bop, bop, and I'm posting that to Facebook. So, maybe something here could relate to voice of the customer or public reputation. If something really bad happened, maybe it's our stock price. So again, think about these things when you think about the impact to the business. Elvina says, is there a reference number or member number on the Priority Pass card? Yes, there is. So there was a member number on my plastic card, and that number is now dead. I have a new number. So that number is toast. So again, think about anything that you can find that impacts the business negatively that would make the business want to invest some time and money to solve the problem. The part of the reason we have so many problems in CX and UX getting people to give us the time and money to solve problems is they don't think it's that bad a problem. Oh, so what? So what? So Debbie's card expired and we closed her account, we made her a new one, and she had to call customer support to fix that? So what? It got fixed, right? So she's okay, right? And that's why an impact map like this, which is my style of impact map, it's different than what you'll find if you Google impact mapping. That's why this really focuses on starting with the customer problem and then looking at how it hurts the business. How are we wasting the business's time and money, because there's probably more Debbies out there who had this happen. Elvina says, I was thinking if they have such a number, it has to be updates everywhere it is used, like in the lounges. Yeah, so what happens is when I go to a lounge, they type in my number or they swipe the card, and then they see if I'm a Priority Pass member in good standing and that they let me in or they don't let me in. So yeah. Yeah, Cataline says we could end up with a lot of 1-star ratings from angry customers. So I'm just going to put VOC in here as a reminder that this could be social posts, this could be ratings, etc. We could have, let's just write reputation stuff. Reputation is spelled wrong. But yes, this hurts the company, and sometimes companies don't care. They think it's good enough, and sometimes they do care. So that's why if you can find numbers related to this, talk to sales. Are we having trouble getting customers to renew because we expired their account? So again, that's where you as a UX or CX person can talk to other teammates and try to get more data to prove to the business that this is a problem worth solving, because we are burning time and money and people. These are all things that we could save. So bottom here is KPIs and OKRs. What are some things that if we solve this problem, we could measure and look for that would then show the business how it saved time, money, resources, people, environment, whatever. So as an example, I say, what if we could reduce calls related to closed accounts or surprise closed accounts by 50%? That definitely saves the business money, makes people happier. What if we could increase the number of active accounts that we have, the active account percentage? Every time we surprise close somebody's account here at our Priority Pass fake job, that messes with our numbers. We don't have as many active accounts. Until I finished setting up my new Priority Pass account, I was an inactive customer. I was a canceled customer. I looked like an ex-customer. So they might have some numbers on active accounts. Everyone wants to see those go up. We can count that. So we could have a KPI of X% increase. We want to see a 5% increase in active accounts. So these are things that we can measure after our project happens and then say, aha, this worked, or this partially worked. We didn't quite make our goals. That's why you want to have some conservative goals. What about saving on the production and shipping of plastic cards? That would be great. Saves the company money, better for the environment, but the company's going to love saving money, unless marketing can spin the saving the environment thing in some way that helps the company in a marketing way. Isla says it's a communication problem. So these are things that we can say to the company, look, if we solve this problem, here's the impact to the business, and here's other numbers like, wow, if we can reduce calls related to surprise closed accounts by 50%, based on what we pay our customer support people and how many calls we're getting now, that's going to save us $50,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $3 million a year. Someone will know this number. Get it in your impact map. We want to show people that if we do a $50,000, $100,000 internal project, that it's worth it. It's going to pay off, because look at what is going to come of it. Okay, so that's an example of the impact map in action. Again, cxcc.to/Miro, but there's more. We're going to do 2 more boards together today. Elvina says they could remove plastic cards altogether and just use the number. That's true. We could just use the Priority Pass number. I did notice that the app was updated to now have a barcode. So I don't need a plastic card anymore. I have the app with the barcode, but there may be some people who still prefer plastic cards, And I honestly don't know if they even sent me a plastic card because I haven't checked my American mail in quite a while. I'll see it in about a week. But for all I know, there's a plastic card waiting for me, even though I downloaded the app. But again, not everybody's going to download the app. So let's take a look at our next board. This is the Collaboration During Research Planning board. I'm going to open that up for everybody, and we're going to put some sticky notes on here. So this is where you are allowed to put sticky notes on the board. Again, pretending that we work for Priority Pass and pretending that we are in a CX or UX role there. We now want to work with our cross-functional team. So that could be stakeholders, product, engineering, data, marketing, strategists, business analysts. Let's imagine that we are getting exercise or asynchronously sharing a board like this and saying, okay, what are the things, fill this out related to this problem. What do we, related to our whole, we close people's accounts when we see their credit card expire or get stolen or close in some other way. What questions do we have about what's going on for the user or what's going on with American Express? What guesses or assumptions do we have about this? What's potentially outdated or incorrect information? Things that we used to think were true or know were true, but gosh, it's a few years later or it's a pandemic later. We might have old information. So let's grab some, and of course, what I wish I knew. I wish I knew, let's say, for example, let's jump off from where Elvina left off. I'm going to grab a sticky note. Color doesn't matter. Grab any color you like. I'm going to grab, oh, I don't need okay, large is fine. I'm going to grab a sticky note and I'm going to say, I wish I knew how many people use or want plastic cards. Do we know that? How many, whoa, hey, people don't redraw my board. How many people use or want plastic cards? I don't know that. I'd like to know that. That might change some of the things we do or design. Now remember, we're talking about design in the human-centered design, user-centered design perspective. Service design, this is design with a capital D. This isn't just Figma and Axure and make some screens. This is redesigning a whole company's process. This is where we're getting more into service design, but we're being problem finders and problem solvers. So let's pretend we all work there and we have some unanswered questions, guesses and assumptions, maybe some outdated information, and what we wish we knew. Because you will use this to help you plan research. You can make sure that you're planning the research that's going to answer the questions that your teammates have. If we don't do this or we don't do this step well, we're going to just plan the research that we think we need. We might be siloed. We might not have collaborated with our coworkers, and then we won't find out what other people need to know. We might have stakeholders who have a real horse in the race and their butt is on the line to create more active accounts and more active users. They might want to know stuff. So I'm going to put another sticky on the board. And I'm going to put it under potentially outdated or correct information. I wonder if our tech team doesn't have the latest API calls or technology connection with American Express. Maybe there's a way for us to know that the card changed number rather than the card was just closed. So does our tech, let's look at this another way. Does American Express have updated API or tech that would give us better info? I think that's something where we might have outdated information. Maybe somebody built the integration with American Express and left it alone and never cared to see if American Express had created new API calls or new integrations where it's like, oh, you know what? Now when somebody's card closes due to a theft and we reissue them a card with a new number, we send you different information. We used to send you card closed, so you close the account. Now we send you something different. You could do something different with that. Now, yes, we would have to we still have to redesign stuff at Priority Pass. We can't keep it the way it is now. It's broken, but it could be improved by getting better information from the partner, from American Express. What else? Let's see what else people are writing. How many such cases exist in the company? That's a really cool question. Do we have a sense of how often this is happening? That's often used in prioritization matrices and frameworks. Do we have a sense of how many customers have been or tend to be impacted by this? 1%? 0.5%? 20%? How often is this happening? Unanswered questions, it's fine to put them there too. Ultimately, you kind of don't care where people put stuff on this board. You just want it on the board so that you can bring it into your research planning. We're imagining that we are going to do some generative discovery, early research to learn more about our customers and this problem and pain points so that we can make sure our problem statement is accurate. You could say validated or improve upon the problem statement. Maybe our problem statement stinks and could be better. Let's see what else we've got. How many similar issues were reported to the support center and how many were resolved? Yeah, how many were resolved positively? Now we've got some sub-questions here. I'm going to throw a sticky note under this. I want to know how many were resolved positively. Because remember, we don't know how many people called support, learned that their account was closed, learned that a new account was made for them, that they now have to reset up from scratch, and said, F you Priority Pass, I don't want your new account, I'm outie. Now, that might still be marked as resolved. Done, customer doesn't want to come back. Issue resolved. How many were resolved positively? How many were resolved where people said, okay, great, let's set up this account. I'd like to be a customer again or still be a customer. So I'm using positively, but you know, that's what I'm shooting for. So this is kind of connected to this. I'll drag it over here. How are the issues resolved? Yeah, I mean, in my case, the person had to give me a code and I had to download the app and I had to reset up my account, putting in the code that they gave me. It was not super complicated, but it was an annoying bunch of steps that I did have to follow precisely. But I don't know, you're right. Maybe other people end up with this issue resolved in some other way that wasn't available to me. And we should learn what other ways is this being resolved. So guesses and assumptions. I'm going to put something up there because let's just practice imagining that we or our teammates do have some guesses or assumptions. And let's say I'm assuming this isn't a serious problem and customers are happy to set up a new account. Let's pretend that's an assumption somebody on the team has. This isn't really a problem. So what? We close people's accounts. They like us, right? They'll call up and they'll just reopen the account or set up a new account with us, right? This is probably just fine. So remember, there's usually one or more voices on the team who assume that this is probably just fine. But we need to document that as a guess or an assumption because ultimately, and remember this, anything on this screen that we do not answer with research or data is a risk. This is documenting risk. If we don't learn whether or not this is a big problem, then we've got risk. If we don't learn if American Express has new technology that would help us solve our problem, we've created risk. Anything on this screen that we do not research and learn the answer to is risk and should be documented as risk. So this is why it's great to do this board with your team. And thanks to Helen Page, who introduced me to the idea. I worked with her last year, and this is kind of my variation of it, but I credit her. And it's a great way and also helps people feel more involved in CX and UX research without them trying to do the research themselves. They can say, hey, I wish I knew this stuff. Researchers, go find this stuff out for me. I don't have time for that. I'm a busy product manager. Let's see. How many customers cancel their account after such a problem? Yeah, absolutely. How many times did people call up and go, why did you cancel my account? What are you doing? Yeah, I don't want to come back. F that. Done. How many of the support tickets are related to this problem? Okay, that's another question. Yeah. And again, let's also dig into anything that impacts the customer and impacts the business. These are the things that we want to know. I'm going to put something weird in. And again, it might be weird. It might not be a great idea, but let's pretend this is a brainstorming session with our teammates. And sometimes they put weird things on the screen and we just have to roll with it because we are good facilitators. I also want to check when my next appointment is. Okay, we could go a little bit late today. I know we ran a little late because I lost my internet, but I'm going to keep going even if we run late. I want to know, what do people do with expired plastic cards? I'm just taking that eco angle a little bit. Because again, marketing could end up spinning this in a good way. Wow, we learned that 50% of our clients don't recycle their plastic cards when their account expires. So we're moving away from plastic cards, or we're doing this other thing like Elvina said. So that, maybe that ends up being part of our solution, is moving away from the plastic cards. But again, that doesn't solve the other problems. If we go back to our impact map, not having plastic cards doesn't solve most of the problems here. It just solves this area with the plastic waste, but it doesn't necessarily solve our other problems. But still, could be good for the environment, could be good for people, could be good for a little marketing spin to make us look like we're a little bit more of an eco company. So yeah, I would love to maybe that's the kind of thing you can even survey. I don't have to call people up and say, what do you do with your expired cards? We could survey them. Do you recycle them? Do you throw them away? Do you save them? Mine is still in my drawer and I don't know why. So I still have it. How are people informed about the account being closed? Yeah, that's a good question. What are we doing now to let people know of the crappy process we're putting them in? Though again, as I warned earlier, we want to make sure that we don't try to band-aid this problem by thinking we have to send people more emails or send them more error messages or build them a tutorial. That's always a band-aid on the problem, and we are here to solve that root problem. Remember, if we don't solve this root problem, then we didn't solve the problem. So part of the reason you have this map is to make sure that as you are considering solutions, as a designer, as a strategist, as a product manager, as anybody on the team, you are trying to figure out, did we solve the original problem? The original problem was, when my credit card expired or was reissued because it got stolen, my account got closed. What if that never had to happen? What if we didn't have to close people's accounts? Okay, so remember, we're going to move on for today, but just remember, this is an exercise that you can do with your cross-functional team and your stakeholders to figure out, what do they think they know? What information might be outdated or incorrect? What are some things we're assuming about our customers, or maybe even about ourselves and our company, our process, our service, our stuff? And then what are some questions? And again, unanswered questions and what I wish I knew are kind of the same thing. But I find that with these types of exercises, if you ask the same thing in different ways, it just sometimes sparks people's thinking, and you get some notes and ideas and things that you didn't get before. So you're just trying to spark ideas here by kind of asking the same thing 4 different ways. So ultimately, it doesn't matter what box people put things in. Don't agonize. Sometimes facilitators agonize over making sure the right thing is in the right box. I kind of don't care here. I just want things on this screen to know that we've put them out loud and we've got them documented, and we can talk about how there's risk here if we don't answer these questions and don't get the evidence and the data that will help us make better decisions, make sure we correctly understood the problem, make sure we analyzed those root causes, and then solved it. Okay, any questions about this collaboration quadrant thingy before we move to the last exercise we're going to do together? And again, we might run a little bit late today. I apologize. In general, for all the things. I'll just wait a moment to see if there's any questions, and then we'll move to another part of the board. Okay, and remember, you can get blank copies of these boards at CX cc.to/Miro. Not too sure why Cogdas is eating that, but there you go. Next, now quickly, remember, next you would be planning the research that would answer these questions. What research do we need? Do we need a survey? Do we need interviews? Do we need observations? Do we need more than one of these? Next, you would be planning that research. What's the right methods? How many participants? Who are we talking to here? How do we recruit the people who have had this happen to them? Again, we're going to leave that out for today, but remember, that would be your next step: planning, recruiting, executing, analyzing the research so that we have now a new set of evidence and knowledge and customer intelligence, which would allow us to check our problem statement and see if we need to reword our problem statement. It would allow us to catalog our pain points. It would allow us to prioritize the pain points and the problems that we learned more about. Now, again, for the purpose of today, we're pretending that that research has happened, but we're pretending at your company the research should happen. Today, we are pretending. Elvina says, what are we expecting people to put in the potentially outdated information? Again, it's just another prompt to help people put more stickies on this board, which is like, you know what? I have some data about our customers, but it's from before the pandemic, and people's attitudes changed during the pandemic, so I might have some outdated or incorrect information. So I think that's kind of the way I prompt people, is sometimes people did research or have data, but it's from a time ago. You know, like sometimes we're in a good economic phase and we did that research in a bad economic phase, and we wonder if what we learned is still true about our customers. Could be pre-pandemic versus during the pandemic. So stuff like that is any information. So I would prompt people, is there any information you have that you might have felt confident about, but you realize now might be outdated? You know, was true at one point. Now you wonder if it's still true. So that would go there. All right, let's take a look at the final board on the screen, which is brainstorming ideas and possibilities. Let's bring everybody here. And we're going to take a look at this. And this is where you can openly put sticky notes. We're going to pretend with me that we've done research and we know more about our customers, and especially customers having this problem who had a credit card expire or get stolen and replaced and ended up having to build a whole new account with. Now, we're going to brainstorm some ideas. Now, notice this is different than some of the more popular workshops right now where people sketch screens. Whenever I do any brainstorming in a meeting or exercise or workshop, I don't ask people to draw it, because that is the execution of an idea. I talk about that a lot on the channel. We talk about it in the Customers Know You Suck book. And so remember, there's ideas and there's the execution of the idea. I don't need to get down to the execution of the idea. I don't need to get down to exactly how the screen looks. I just need to get ideas. What are some ideas that could possibly be potential solutions, improvements for our original problem? Not sure if the original problem expired or has been replaced. So let's categorize the idea business reach its goals. And of course, over here in the left are things that will make the business more money, but aren't necessarily a good thing for the customer. Could be customer peripheric, as I like to say. Could be a bit of a deceptive design. Could be something a little sneaky or tricky or unclear. So we have ideas that could help the business. Hey, Karen, good to see you. We have ideas that help the business, but not necessarily the customer. We have ideas that help the customer, but don't necessarily help the business reach its goal. And then we have ideas that might be great for everybody because, again, coming back up to this board here, it solves the customer's problem and will help the negative impacts on the business. So anything that helps solve the customer's problem and relieve some of those negative impacts on the business would go over here in helps both. So, yeah, that's, there you go. So these are some things that we can now play with customers, notify customers about the account deletion or update. Yeah, that should help customers. It could help the business, but ultimately, again, that I found that I wondered later if I got an email. I found an email in my spam, and I noticed that the way the email was written, I couldn't tell if my account was canceled or new or whatever. It was very confusing. So I think that is a thing that we can do, but I'm not sure it necessarily fixes the problem. But ultimately, sure, if we're going to rebuild this process, we need fresh notifications. Metrics are exactly like this. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. We just need ideas. Jude says, got a new job. I've been missing your live events. Well, congratulations on the new job. Boo, safe travels and congratulations on your upcoming wedding. Well, thank you. I will be traveling tomorrow after our office hours, which will be earlier than usual because I've got a plane to catch. So office hours are earlier tomorrow. Everybody check that out. Customer support won't be so overwhelmed. Again, you're saying what some of the outcomes will be, but how are we going to get there? What are some things that we can build or rebuild or change? This is our chance to brainstorm what we're going to change. What are we going to do? What are we thinking about doing or building or creating? So again, you're saying, hey, look, if all this happens, customer support won't be so overwhelmed. We know that. That's already in our impact map. We're saying if we can fix this, we can reduce calls, things like that. So we already know that that is a positive outcome from fixing this problem. This brainstorming is about ideas that we believe could fix the problem. Remember, hypothetically, this brainstorming would come after research so that everybody on the team who's part of this brainstorming would have the knowledge from our research. They wouldn't be guessing. They wouldn't be trying to do this on day one of the project. We have to learn about our customers' realities. We have to answer our unanswered questions first, and then we can brainstorm and say, okay, now that we really know about this and we really understand the problem and our users and customers and the people affected by this, here's some things we might want to try that would fix it. So what are some things that we could try that would fix it? We've got improve the back end on credit card info and priority pass. Exactly. I think that's a great sticky note here, and that's a great technology question. How can we use our integration with American Express and other credit cards to get better information from them so that maybe we don't even have to close the account? Remember, we don't have to close the account. We do that now. Somebody probably built that because at the time they thought that was easier. The card's closed, close the account. We can do better. So yeah, what if we didn't have to close the account because we got better information from American Express? One thing, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to write in. One thing that we can do is we could say, and I'm going to kind of add to this, jump off from this, if we get better info from partner credit cards, don't close account, update it automatically, customer does nothing. That would really be the best fix. The best fix is we get better information from American Express and the other credit card companies, and we never close your account. We just update it. That would require no UX design. Well, a little UX design. We'd have to change the notifications that we send out. But that would require very little UX design. We would have to update our, and I go through this in the book, we would have to update our notifications. We would have to update the site to make sure that the site allows people to update the credit card. That's another thing. So let's write this down. Allow customer to update own credit card. Maybe we find out we can't get the information from American Express that we wish. Well, I have the information. I'm the customer. I know what my new card number is. Why can't I put that in? Right now, I can't on the Priority Pass site. So what if we could allow the customers to update their own credit card number so that we got that? I'm going to put another one up here. Okay, what if we don't hold people's credit card numbers at all? That's a data risk, isn't it? It's a data risk for it to have a database full of people's credit card numbers, right? Now, of course, if you're paying for Priority Pass, then you're going to have people's credit card numbers because they paid for it. I didn't pay for it. Priority Pass got paid. Oh, who's messing with my board? Priority Pass got paid through their partnership with American Express. Priority Pass got paid by American Express. I didn't see that money change hands. Do they need my credit card number? Now, maybe if you go and sign up for Priority Pass and you pick one of those tiers and you pay for it, okay, they have your credit card number. Do they need my credit card number? What if they don't? What if they just need to use their technological integration to ask American Express if I am still a member in good standing? Pass fail. Debbie's in good standing. Debbie's not. Suspend her account. Debbie is in good standing. Keep her account. These are just ideas. I'm not saying these are the solution. I'm not saying they're the best solution. This is just brainstorming ideas. What are some ideas that would solve this for customers and solve this for the business? And I'm saying if any of my three things happened, it should be improved or solved for the business, and we should hopefully achieve those KPIs that we wrote on the board above that would show the business we are saving them time and money. Let's see what else people wrote. Replace the plastic cards, assuming we found out people are against it, replace it with a number or QR or barcode in the app. Right, and there already is a barcode in the app. We'd probably need to push people to use that a little bit more. I think what I want to add to that, let me add a little note under that. I think I want to add, wrong button. There we go. Digital card, even if they don't have the app. So for example, I have, some people know I have a membership with Disney Vacation Club. They have a plastic card, but now they have digital cards, and basically like they email you a picture of a card and then you just show that to people. Or it could be something we email to people. It doesn't even have to be in the app. So digital card options that exist in the app and outside of the app. Again, we're just brainstorming right now. We don't know if any of these are going to work. We don't know if we're going to design something that meets or exceeds users' needs. We're just brainstorming right now. We're just putting out there some possible solutions and ideas that our team will consider. Remove the direct one-to-one account to card connection. Yeah, exactly. Whatever we do next, we are probably going to have to rebuild aspects of our system, both from the technology side and from the user experience side, to make sure that a customer's account, where'd it go? Cataline, bring it back. Where'd it go? It was good. And create multiple cards in their account. You know, especially if people are paying for it. If people are paying for it, you might want to add multiple cards to your account and say, ooh, when my membership renews, please use this other card. So why not? Why not have why not remove that one-to-one relationship and build a system which, again, would require both tech, your engineering, and your UX peeps to create the system and its interface to handle multiple cards, deleting cards, marking a card as the primary card. Many of us have used systems that have this type of thing. I'm not inventing something that doesn't exist. Let's see what's over here and helps the business. Yeah, I'm still not loving these. Okay, let's move on. What else do people have? Contact MasterCard or other companies about APIs and proper integration solutions. Yeah, I think that one goes with this one. I'm going to slide this over. These are cousins. These are definitely cousins to basically check that technological integration and see if we can get better information from our partners. That might be hard. We might have all kinds of different partners all over the world. MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover Card, cards in the Netherlands that I can't pronounce, cards in Brazil that I can't pronounce. So we'll have to check that out, and that's a lot of work, but that's more for the technical team and the engineering people and the technological solution architects than for us in UX. But it still has to be done. And there may be ramifications for the user interface. What else? What are some other ideas of things that we could change or do or design or integrate that would help solve that problem of these accounts getting surprise closed and probably pissing off customers? We also had that grace period. That was somebody's idea from before, which was Cataline. I'm going to put that down, but I'm going to put it under helps customers, because ultimately a grace period helps customers, but it usually isn't great for the business because it's a period of time in which they're not making money. It's a period of time in which they're technically giving you the service for free to avoid canceling you. So I'm going to say that helps customers, but not necessarily. It can help the business in that it will keep the customer longer, but we technically didn't collect money from them for that time period, so it's a money loss in a sense. So I'll put it there. You can battle me on that if you like. Timulean's here. Good to see you. And Ana Lucia's here. Hello. Who else has some other idea of how can we fix any of these things? How can we fix the support utilization? How do we fix the closed accounts? How do we fix the plastic waste? And how do we fix these? How do we fix our root causes? We talked about the one-to-one. We talked about getting better data from our partners. We talked about allowing people to update their cards. But let's go beyond that. Can we think of anything else? Can we think of anything really fresh? Be weird, be wild. Can anybody think of anything really weird or wild or out there that they think would help this situation, solve it, remember, there's 3 key things we want. We want to attract customers. We want them to sign up. We want them to be happy. So attracting and sign up is one thing. We want them to be happy. Why'd my grace period go over there? Ana Lucia, what are you doing? Oh, she copied it. I was like, where'd my sticky go? We want people to be happy, customer satisfaction, not tweeting crap about us. And then we want people to stay. Retention and loyalty. Those are the things companies want. Adoption, which is adoption and attraction, people signing up. Satisfaction, people are happy. And then keeping people, retention and loyalty. How can we make that happen? What can we do? Ana Lucia says payment can be done by a third party to avoid these issues. Okay. Reducing costs about less plastic cards, right? That may or may not help the customer, but it helps the business save money on plastic cards and shipping. Absolutely. I'm going to add something to your plastic cards thing. I'm going to say, ask customers if they want to go plastic cardless. How many of you have seen things from your bank that says, hey, would you like to no longer get paper statements and paper things? You're going to help the environment. They always tell you you're going to help the environment, but you're saving the business money. They don't have to print the paper and send the paper. So we could certainly run an eco campaign and make the company look good and say, hey, would you like to go without a plastic card? You can now get it in the app or in the email or as a JPEG that you can save to your Google Wallet and Apple Wallet and whatever. So again, that helps us more than it helps the customers. But I think even though we're saying helps the business more than it helps customers, there's still advantages to the customers as well. There's no card to forget or leave home or lose or get stolen. Oh, they stole my wallet. I don't have my card. So again, it's rarely, it only helps the business and not the customer at all, but it's just a little bit more on that helps the business more side. Yeah, some good thinking here. Let's see. Yeah, Priority Pass, I don't think they have loyalty points, but you're right. If it were a system where you got some sort of points from using it, I don't think I do, but if you got some sort of points from using it, then you're right. Keeping people's accounts open help them get these points. I'm going to put that more in the helps customers because, loyalty programs aren't always things businesses love. Businesses usually see that as a little bit of lost money because we're giving people something that seems to be for free or discounted, and ultimately that's some money the business didn't make. So I'm going to say that one helps customers a little bit more than the business, but it also does help the business in that we hope we are keeping that customers longer and inspiring them to do more with us because there are loyalty points. I don't think Priority Pass does loyalty points. Membership benefits. But again, it's an interesting hypothetical thing. Hey, maybe you've just brainstormed a whole new loyalty points program for Priority Pass that they don't have. Nope. Yeah, I really don't think they have a loyalty points program. So that could be a whole new thing. I'm gonna find where's the emoji here? Let's see. Let's get us a light bulb. Here we go. I'm going to put light bulb over here on the loyalty points thing because maybe that's a whole new direction for us. Remember, Priority Pass doesn't have a loyalty points program. Maybe we should think about it. Maybe every time you use your Priority Pass and you visit an airport lounge, we give you some sort of points that can be redeemed later for an additional free guest when you visit a lounge and you have a guest. Whatever. But yeah, what if that's a whole new thing? So thanks to the person who wrote that, because it turns out that Priority Pass doesn't have a loyalty points program. Maybe we should be thinking about one. Now, again, does that solve the problem of we close people's accounts when we think their card is expired? Nah, but it's cool that it came up in brainstorming anyway. It's something that we can certainly look at separately. I think having a loyalty, remember, we can double check this. Ask yourself the question, if we had that, would it solve our original problem? In this case, it doesn't solve the original problem, but it's still a cool idea and something our business might want to look at. So I would still keep it on the board, even though it doesn't solve our original problem or any of its root causes. So again, having a loyalty points program doesn't solve that we close people's accounts when their credit card expires. In fact, it would be worse because if you closed my account, I would lose the points. Then you have the whole problem of transferring the points to another account and me proving it's still me. Now, if they did, right? So, yeah, interesting thought from somebody. Again, it doesn't solve the problem we're working on now, but it's still interesting. And this came from Secret Visitor. We don't know who. Thank you. Any other thoughts or questions as we go through this exercise? Yeah, less work needed for customer support for sure. And I'm sure customer support is not loving getting X calls a day or X calls a week from people going, why'd you close my account? So, upgrade for everybody when we solve this. But again, these are our brainstormed ideas on how we would solve this. How are we going to do this? What are products, services, processes, technology that we need to include or design? This is our chance to brainstorm that. And I know this is a little bit different for people. I think people are more used to the type of workshop or exercise where you have to draw the screen. And I say, don't worry about the screen. Let's just worry about the concept. Elvina says it was me. Well, thank you. It's a great one. Again, it doesn't directly solve the problem, but it's still cool. So I'm going to mark it as cool light bulb idea, though technically not solving the problem at hand. And again, remember, we'd probably be better at brainstorming right now if we were working from research insights. But we don't have that. We have to pretend that we did the research and that we know things. We don't know things. We're making this up. This is just practicing these techniques so that we can try them at our jobs. And I hope people will try this at their job. I mean, we've spent an hour, give or take, on it today. This really didn't take very long. But again, you wouldn't be doing all of these in one meeting. You would probably go into one meeting, talk about the problem statement, talk about the impact map, see if anybody wants to add to the impact map or if they have numbers that will help the impact map look a little bit more alarming. And then they can do this, but then it stops. That's as far as you can go because next would be the research. So there would be a gap in time between when you did this board and when you did the brainstorming ideas, possibilities, and solutions board. What else? What else can we do to help our customers be more likely to stick around, especially in a case where their account with us has accidentally expired because they had a credit card expire or they had a credit card stolen, and now our system thinks they're not our customer. They're not a customer anymore. What else? What else can improve this? Hi, I'm still live. Is there a problem?
No.
Oh, okay. Did you need something?
No. I just saw you didn't have headphones.
I don't have headphones because I'm not talking to anybody.
Great.
It'll be Dr. Nick tomorrow. Then I'll have headphones. And some of you might hear the wagging of the handsome Tizeo. If you are following our dogs on Instagram, we have Tizeo dropping by tonight. Well, look, we'll keep this board open if anybody wants to brainstorm a little bit more, but just remember this is going to be a new format that we use for some of our Think Out Loud streams, and you can send stuff in to Think Out Loud at deltacx.com/links. And you can let me know if you want to have the other style of show, which you'll see in episodes mostly 1 through 29, where we do some research planning. So here we didn't plan the research. We would need to do the research planning, and then we do some actual design. So that's a very different show than this one. That has pieces that we didn't do here. Elvina says, I really like the impact map. Do you think we can add an additional layer to the root cause? I'm thinking there might be deeper underlying root causes. Yeah, remember, hypothetically, the root cause, and the reason why we say the root cause is the root cause is supposed to be the most underlying cause at the root, at the center. Peel away all the layers. You could add a layer in between of other stuff that is a cause, but maybe not the center of the cause. But remember, if you're going to do it as a tree, and Miro lets you do these tree diagrams, or you could do it in PowerPoint or other things, make sure if you're doing a tree that the tree relates to whatever it is. So for example, if the root cause one-to-one card to account, what's a cause that isn't the root of that? What's a problem that isn't the root of that? So if you're drawing a tree, it has to relate. American Express doesn't give us updated card information. Okay, now we're moving outside of the onion. What's related to that isn't the core cause? But I think identifying the core causes help. I'm not against you identifying other causes that are not the core ones, but just make sure that it's as accurate as possible. And you don't want to fill the board with too much stuff. People might feel overwhelmed. And Tizeo, why are you wagging? And Tizeo's wagging more because I'm talking to him. Can you hear it? Hi, Tizeo. Hi, Tizeo. Do you want to be on the show? Maybe we'll put Tizeo on the show quickly. Well, let me go back to the big screen with a big me, and maybe we'll bring over a Tizeo. And but let me know what questions or thoughts you have about this exercise, the Miro board, this type of show, since we might do more in the future. I'll see if I can grab a Tizeo. He doesn't love being carried. Tizeo, can I pick you up? What? Can I pick you up? I got you. I got you. Hi. Who's that? Hi. Hi, I'm Tizeo. I'm a little bit frozen. I'm a very good boy. I'm hanging out tonight. Yeah, I'm hanging out in the house. Just getting some rubs. Hi. What's all this? What do you think? Do you want to work in technology? Yeah, Tizeo is super cute. What do you think? He's a little frozen. Anyway, any other questions, let me know. If you're watching this later, you can always post a question in the YouTube comments. Don't forget to tell some people about the show. You know, please help spread the word. And, oh, isn't he being so cute? I love you. I love you too. Do you want to go down? Okay, there you go. The handsome Tizeo, ladies and gentlemen, is the best part of the show. Yeah, so if you have any questions, put them in the YouTube comments and I will answer them personally as soon as I can. I think we'll be doing more shows like this, so if you have an idea for something that you would like to go through these boards on, whether it's real or fake, real from your job, fake you invented it. Again, we won't be able to do the real research, but we can pretend that we've done research and we know some things, and, excuse me, and then we can do some of that brainstorming. Okay, I get. Thanks again for people who stuck through the show, even though the stream died and the internet died and everything. I will go link them up in the YouTube so that the videos link to each other, and you can find both. And other than that, again, we're going to be here tomorrow early. 4 o'clock Italy time for office hours with Dr. Nick, because then I'm jumping on a plane and then we'll be, oh, thanks, Himalayan. I'm so happy you've been joining the shows and that they're helping you. And bumpy stream. Sorry, blippy stream. I better get out of here before my internet dies again. Oh, thanks for your patience, everybody. It's storm season and it is what it is.